Today is Thursday. Oh, I thought it was Wednesday for a minute, but no, it is Thursday. Uh, Thursday the what? Thailand at this moment in the province of Phao at 6:11 in the morning. And yesterday we had a wonderful storm, but today it looks like it might rain again. Who knows? Not, but it looks like it might rain again. But it is beautiful this morning, so we'll take a nice little hike and see what's about. Yesterday, my wife and I went out for a drive and had been wanting to do this for a long time. We went to the town called Ban Tam, and that is essentially a sort of a Christian or Catholic. I mean, I don't know. As a Christian and Catholicism is the same thing, but basically a used to be sort of a missionary town. I don't know if it's still a missionary town. I think they still have people who live there. I think. Oh, okay. All right, brother. So, anyway. Khắpคุณมากครับ So anyway, so we've been wanting to go there for a long time, and we went yesterday, and we went to the cemetery there, and I guess one of the reasons I want to go to the cemetery is pretty obvious, is that it's sort of a record of, provides sort of a record of the people that were there. And now I wasn't sure at all what kind of people I would see in the cemetery. I expected, when I went to see in the cemetery, I expected to see like tombstones written in like Portuguese, but there weren't any. They were all pretty much all in Thai. Some used the Buddhist calendar, and some used the Gregorian calendar. And I thought that was quite interesting. Although there were Western people buried in that cemetery, but the writing on their tombstones was in Thai. There was a young boy that died actually fairly recently, at the age of 4. And if you watch the video, you can see his gravestone as we talk about that, because I cannot read Thai, so my wife told me about that, what it said, which I thought was kind of interesting, because a Western boy I forget the name. But anyway, she read that out to me, and that's in the video on the long form. If you feel like looking at that, it's kind of interesting. I think it's very interesting because it's a slice of Thailand you probably will never see anywhere else unless you come here. From what I saw was the as far as I could tell. And we didn't look. My wife didn't look at all the great tombstones, markers. But as for what we looked at together, it was a husband and wife who had been there, buried there. Had like 150 years ago. right? So that's like 1910 or something like that. Around the 19, would that be 19? No, that'd be something like 1925. But I think that I'm not sure if that I'm not sure is the exact date now. As I walk down the road now, I'm not sure what the date was, but in the video you can see what I say. But it was 150 years, so that for sure was quite interesting to see. So that would have been like at the turn of the 20th century. So though, and they were not their names were not Western names. But it's interesting to note that the what I think was the absence of Western names, except for the young boy that was there, because it tells you a lot about, like, a little bit about the history of Thailand, So at that time, that would have been like, just after World War One. I don't think World War One was Thailand. I don't think Thailand was really affected by World War One, but that's just as a time reference. So I would think that the what was the thing? Oh, well, so as just as a time reference. So, like, as I said in the video, I said that the first foreigners came to Thailand in like 1450, around that date. You can check the dates. There's Portuguese that came on a trading mission up from basically what is Malaysia area now, which they did colonize. But they didn't colonize Thailand. Thailand's never been colonized. It's one of the maybe the only Southeast Asian country that was never colonized. But this was all due to extremely good diplomacy that was played by the Thai officials. Were very, very smart and very good in how they handled the situation back then. Because for sure, if the French or Portuguese or English or any of these Western European countries had they wanted, for sure they wanted to colonize every single country, but they didn't colonize Thailand. So that's sort of an interesting note in history. And so basically, yeah. So you can see the cemetery. I filmed it yesterday. I didn't edit it or anything like that. I just went and sort of my wife and I sort of flash mobbed it. Went in, took the videos, and just like sort of talked about it and everything like that. There's no voiceover or anything like that. I don't really do voiceovers. But if you're interested in seeing the markers, and if somebody could tell me in the chat. Hey, Bronito Escobar, good morning. How you doing, brother? If you could tell me whether or not those grave markers were Catholic or Christian, or is there a difference? I don't know if there's a difference between gravestones, tombstones. If like a Catholic grave looks different from like a Protestant grave. For me, they look all the same, but I don't know. I would assume, my assumption is that this was Catholic because that was the predominant religion form of Christianity that was around. Now, hold on a second, I have to stop and tie my shoe a second. Hold on, guys. Let me put this up here for a second. So I sincerely doubt that it was anything other than Catholic. That's my best educated guess. But check it out, check it out. Maybe find it interesting. If you're interested in, little bits of history, or if you're interested in seeing something that you will never see anywhere else, because nobody's going. This is a cemetery. It's like a Catholic cemetery. I'm going to say it's a Catholic cemetery because it just makes the most sense. A Catholic cemetery in northern Thailand, and nobody else is. The only place you'll see it is on the video that I made. So it is kind of interesting in that regard. It's not a tourist site. It's just something that is sort of out of the way and just happens to be there. So I must admit though, I was a little disappointed that there weren't gravestones. Oh, there weren't tombstones from 500 years ago, because that would have been a hit, like hitting the jackpot in a way. I mean, like being able to see like some more something bigger than. Even though 150 years ago, yeah, that's big, but it's still the 20th century. So, I mean, of course, all respect and everything to everybody who was buried there. Of course, we paid our respects. We crossed ourselves. My wife did the Thai Y for the respect to the dead and everything like that. I crossed myself several times, But, yeah, I would have liked to have seen like some names written in Portuguese and 500 years ago, but unfortunately, I mean, I shouldn't say unfortunately. I mean, it wasn't there. That's not what it was. So it's just an interesting little piece of history, some piece of Thailand. Nobody'll. The only way you'll see it probably is on that video that I made. My wife and I made. So, whatever. It is what it is, right? Let me see here. So, okay. Just checking the new version of the iOS systems. I had to download. It took like an hour to download, which is unusual. Unusually long time. So it's like a whole new interface. But yeah. Anyway. So right now we are walking pretty much, I would say due north. And on that side would be east. West is on our left, this way. And south behind us. But I sort of feel like south is, well, I guess it is sort of behind us. I mean, I know this is not due north, but like northeast east, I guess would be the terminology you would use. I think, not sure, but northeast is where we're walking at the moment. And we've been out of commission for about 2 weeks. We've had an awful bout of the flu. I thought I might have had COVID, but I got COVID tested 2 times negative. But it's sort of just this flu that even after 2 weeks, because normally it's 7 days, right? 7 days is the flu or a cold. And this has been like 2 weeks, and I still have some nasal congestion, which I'm hoping will go away soon. I don't know, but we'll see. I know getting out and walking for the first time in 2 weeks is definitely a good sign. You know, get that body moving, get those red and white blood cells moving. You know, certainly supposed to be medically proven that exercise is good to get rid of your flu, your malady. If you're feeling some sort of a malaise. Anyway. I think I'm going to sort of wrap it up from here and swerve over to the morning market. That means I'm going to end the stream. I just wanted to check in with you guys for a live stream for the first time in 2 weeks. First time in 2 weeks. And we made, put our footprint back out there. And I hope everybody's well wherever you are in the world. I hope you are doing well. And wherever you are in the world, may you have a good morning, good afternoon, and a good night. Thank you very much for checking it out. And we'll see you in the next one. And we'll be uploading some short videos later today of the zoo. I like to call it a zoo. We have so many animals just living with us. Tortoises, cats, dogs, chickens, lizards, birds, and all sorts of other animals. So, snakes, scorpions, and fish. Oh, shit. I didn't look with it. Oh my God. Okay, all right. Anyway, I better pay attention to my walking. All right, have a good night, afternoon, or a morning. Thanks a lot for checking in. See you in the next one.